Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the applications of Ampere's circuital law. In the last class, that is yesterday, we had completed the Ampere's circuital law and discussion based on it. Few concepts we had seen over it. Now there are two applications given to us as far as syllabus of CBSE is concerned. First is determination of magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying wire. It is neither written thin or thick, but we are going to see both. Second is the straight solenoid and toroidal solenoid. Straight solenoid is there and toroid is like endless solenoid. Only qualitative treatment. This is given in syllabus. So let's try to see one by one. First we are going to do now the infinitely long straight current carrying wire, due to which the magnetic field is to be determined with the use of Ampere's circuital law. So in the very last class we had seen some of the things, like first thing what we know from first class, that suppose a current carrying wire is there I, which is coming towards us. The wire is like this, current is towards us. Then the magnetic field can be given by right hand rule, and that is along this. It was also discussed in last class. Suppose here the magnetic field along this, here the direction of magnetic field along this, here the magnetic field along this. In the same way, when a wire is going away from us, the magnetic field once again in the same way, the curl of the finger is this thumb showing the direction of current and this curl of the finger showing the direction of magnetic field. Right? In the same way, the field wire is going inside, current is going inside, the wire is there. So we will put the thumb, hold the wire like this, and we will curl the finger around the wire. This thumb is in direction of current, and this curl shows the direction of magnetic field. So for this wire, the magnetic field is somewhat like this. So in this case, it is that these are the directions of magnetic field at different places. In this way we can find out. So these are just to determine the direction of magnetic field. Now we are going to see the convention of net current in Ampere's circuital law. How to find out convention? You know from the last class how to find out, and if you will not be, then we will be discussing in the running derivation of the given explanations. So let's try to start the first one, infinitely long wire. So here we have magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying thin straight wire. I had taken one wire up to infinity in both the directions, carrying current I had written as well, let I current through the wire. This P is the point of observation where we are going to find out the magnetic field. The perpendicular distance from the wire of this point is R. What we had seen that in simple cases we are going to draw an Amperian loop. That loop, the circumference or perimeter, that particular edge, the periphery must pass through this particular point P. So if you draw Amperian loop passing through point P, it is somewhat like this. So here I had drawn an Amperian loop. It is somewhat like this. This is the point of observation. This plane is perpendicular to the wire, and this loop, Amperian loop, is in a plane which is also perpendicular to wire. This, you can say, plane of Amperian loop is in the plane what I am shown here. Now in this case, we have to apply Ampere's circuital law. We know the Ampere's circuital law is B dot dl is equal to mu naught times the net current threading the loop or passing through the loop. Here what is the net current? In this direction it is going I, or here you can say this is I. The same thing, these two are same thing, no problem, difference at all. Just to see in different way I have drawn it. So in this case, this B is unknown, we have to find out. This dl we have to use, mu naught you know, I net we have to find out, that is net I. but sign convention we have to take. So let us try to first the left hand side of this expression. Left hand side is integral b dot dl. Here, if you are going to find out the magnetic field at this point, what you do? Wire is in having current in upward direction, so like this, it is going upward. You hold it so that a thumb in this direction, so magnetic field is surrounding it. So at this point, the magnetic field is having direction this. This is the direction of magnetic field. Here also you can draw the magnetic field. Here the direction of magnetic field is somewhat like this, tangential to the curve. And dl. The direction of dl is as per the direction of traversal of the path. And accordingly the sign of I will be taken. In the last class I had discussed, if you traverse the path in this space in such a way that the direction thumb is in the direction of current, then the current will be positive. Here if you grip the wire like this and the thumb is in the direction of current and we are traversing like this, suppose anti-clock, here anti-clock we are traversing the loop, the Amperian loop. So we are going to grip the wire somewhat like this and this curl is in the direction of traversal. Suppose we are going to traverse like this in this direction, here also the same. Then in that case, after gripping, if the direction of traversal is like this and this thumb is in direction of current, then we can say current is positive. And if direction of current would be opposite to this, then in that case, opposite this means opposite thumb, then in that case current would be negative. Now here the traversal is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. So in anti-clockwise, what we see, if we hold the wire like this, we grip, the curl is showing the direction of traversal and thumb is in direction of current. So you see, we can say this current is positive because this particular current is in the direction of thumb. So here current is positive. So dl is also, we have taken in this direction from here to here. This is also the dl. So what we see, dl and b are in same direction. Why dl is in same direction? We are going to divide this particular loop in a number of such different elements or intersections. So one such element dl is taken and this dl is in this direction, so it is tangential to the curve. So this is the direction of dl and the same direction is the direction of b. So direction of b and direction of dl are making an angle 0 degree. So we can say this is equal to integral b into dl into cos 0 degree. Here b is constant at each and every point of this Amperian loop or the periphery of this Amperian loop, or you can say that this at all the points the b value or magnitude of b value is constant. Though the direction is changing at all the points, but magnitude remains same. Here we are going to see the magnitude. So magnitude is constant. Why so? Because all the points or the periphery of this Amperian loop is at constant same distance and magnetic field you know that is same at due to symmetry. So this b we can take out. Integral dl cos 0 is 1. What is the integration of dl? That is it is circular path. The Amperian will be circle, so its perimeter or the circumference is 2 pi r. So we can make it as b into 2 pi r. This is equation number 2 and we are making this as equation number 1. So left hand side is done. Left hand side is almost solved. Now come to right hand side. This I net, we are traversing like this and thumb is in direction of current, so current will be positive. So I net is equal to plus I. Reason you know, the current is in direction of thumb. When the curl shows the tips of the curl finger shows the direction of traversal. Now use this in right hand side. So right hand side is equal to mu naught times I net and I net is I. So this is equal to mu naught I. Equation number 3. Use 2 and 3 in 1. We have b into 2 pi r from 2 is substituted here and 3 is substituted here is equal to mu naught times I net is I. So from here b is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, or this is can be also be written as b mu naught by 4 pi into 2I divided by r. So this is the magnitude of magnetic field and direction you know what would be direction. So from here you see magnetic field is proportional to the current value and it is inversely proportional to R. So some of the points of conclusion we can do here. So let us try to see it one by one. Now the inference drawn from these conclusion, for given current, if you draw radius for same radius, a circle, or finding out the magnetic field at equal distance, say r of radius r, at all the points the magnitude of magnetic field remains same for all such circles whose center lie on this wire. So if you draw a number of circles whose center lie on this wire, then and we join all the circles one by one over another, we are going to see to form a cylinder. So thus we can say it has cylindrical symmetry, what is mentioned here. Field at every point of circle of radius r with the wire at the axis is same in magnitude. So at here, if we are going to form a number of circles of radius r having center on the wire, then at all the circle the magnitude remains same of the magnetic field. So magnetic field due to current through infinite straight wire has cylindrical symmetry, and if you join all such circles are having constant magnitude of the magnetic field at the circumference, then it is going to form a cylinder, and that is why it is known as it has cylindrical symmetry. Now come to the second point. So first point of interference gave us the cylindrical symmetry assessment or explanation. The second point is going to give us the direct magnetic field lines. What we see at equal distance, the field line remains same. The magnitude of magnetic field remains same, and direction of field is tangential. And if we join the magnitude of constant magnetic field, it is going to give a circle. So lines of constant magnitude of magnetic field form concentric circles whose center lie on this. These circular lines, what we are going to see here, are called magnetic field lines. That is what it is mentioned there. Direction of B is tangential to circle at every point. That is quite clear. At each and every point, direction of field will be tangential. Here direction of magnetic field here direction of field here, tangential to this. And lines of constant magnitude of magnetic field form concentric circle. So if constant, all are at all the points, magnitude of magnetic field remains constant. We are getting a circle. In the same way, a different circle center on the same axis. So this is going to form some concentric circles, and these are called magnetic field lines. It is a continuous loop. It has no start, no end. Unlike electric field lines between positive and negative charges. We know between positive and negative charges, electric field line starts from positive, ends on negative. It is continuous between the two, but discontinuous in a loop. Here, it is continuous in a loop. So that is the second point. Now the third point. In third point, what we see, wire is of infinite length, current is flowing through it, but even at non-zero distance, the magnetic field is not infinite. Though the wire is infinite, but magnetic field is not infinite. So that is what the explanation is. Now your homework is to draw a graph B versus I and B versus 1 by R, or you can say not 1 by R, R. So draw these two graphs at home and note it down properly, so that we can discuss the next part, that is due to thick wire where current is distributed throughout the cross section uniformly. Now the second is magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying thick wire. Here current is distributed throughout the cross section. So I, the net current through the whole cross section. So J, current density, that is I, current per area. So I by pi r square, that is constant, where R is the radius of this. Here we have to find out the magnetic field outside the wire, at the just outside the surface, or at the surface you can say, and inside the wire. So let us take any one point outside the wire, which is at a distance say small r. So first point of derivation at outside point, here r is greater than the radius of the given wire. Now we are going to complete one Amperian loop surrounding the wire. That Amperian loop is having a radius small r. So here if we make it so it is somewhat like this. Here the direction of magnetic field, you know what direction, that is along this. and ampere, this is Amperian loop or radius small r. Take any small element of this Amperian loop, say it is dl. We are traversing along this, like this. So in that case, we can say if we traversing along, current is going up, so we can say that current is positive in the direction of thumb. So here we know that Ampere's circuital law, B dot dl equal to mu naught times net current threading the loop or crossing this loop. Here we have integral B, the magnetic field at outside B or B naught is up to us, we can put B naught here, B naught into dl into cos of the angle. Here B and dl are both in the same direction, B is tangential, we know how to find the direction. We grip the wire and that is along this. So thumb is showing the direction of current and this curve shows the direction of magnetic field. For magnetic field is so. So dl cos 0 degree. Why cos 0? This is B into B and dl both are in the same direction. Now mu naught. Mu naught we are directly copying down. I net. I net is positive or negative. Now we are traversing along this. So curl is along a traversal of path. Thumb is in this direction. In the same direction current is there. So current will be positive. So we are going to write plus I or simply I. So this is what we have. B naught is constant. Due to symmetrical arrangement, its center is at the axis of the wire. And wire this current is also uniformly distributed. So we can say this is symmetrically placed. So at all the points on the Amperian loop, that is what we have drawn the imaginary loop, the magnitude of magnetic field remains same. So we can take it out of integration sign. B naught integral dl equal to mu naught times I. Integral dl, what is the length of this Amperian loop? It's quite obvious, circular, so it is 2 pi r. So this is B naught into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught times I. So from here B naught is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, and this can also be written as mu naught divided by 4 pi into 2I divided by r. So this is what we have. Here what we see, the magnetic field is directly proportional to I and it is also directly proportional to 1 by r or it is inversely proportional to r. That is what we know here at outside point. Next is at the surface we are going to do. So to do the same thing at the surface, second, at the surface or just outside the surface, you can say, you can put r is equal to capital R here, or you can proceed in the same way by drawing an Amperian loop whose size is same as that of this, whose radius is same as this. Keeping this as center, you draw an Amperian loop which is going to be covering this hole. So this is the Amperian loop. Here what we see, this r equal to capital R. So it covers whole wire almost. So that is what here. Here also net current is capital I. So there is no such change. So here also you can write the same thing. Integral B at surface dot dl is equal to mu naught times I net. I net remains same. So it is Bs into dl into cos 0 degree equal to mu naught I. And from here you can write Bs integral dl is equal to mu naught I. So integral dl is 2 pi capital R. So you can solve it here. This is Bs into 2 pi capital R is equal to mu naught I, or Bs is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi R, or you can say mu naught by 4 pi into 2I by R. If you are given to derive, you can go like this. But if you are not given directly, two things are given, directly you take small r equal to capital R here. You will get the same thing. Just see, if you put small r equal to capital R, the same thing you are going to get. Here also mu naught by 4 pi 2I by small r, it is equal to 2 pi by capital R. So you can solve at the surface in this way. Now third is inside. Now you copy it down so that we can proceed to the third part, that is to determine the magnetic field inside the wire. Now the third point, inside the wire. Inside the wire, in this case small r is less than capital R. That is what we have. We are going to consider one point here in this wire. This is infinite long wire, so I just sorted to manage the space. That is what it is. So it is this wire is here. this point P is inside. It is of radius small r less than capital R. Once again we draw an Amperian loop of this radius. This is the area through which we have to find out net current. We know the current is uniformly distributed. That is what? Current density constant. So we can find out the current through this. How to find out? Current through this shaded section is equal to net current into current density. Oh sorry, net current density. Net current is how much we here. Net current is I. So either by unitary method or by unit using this. So this is what? Current through unit area, J. So current through this area is J into pi into small r square. And J is I divided by pi r square. So I divided by pi r square into pi r square. So this is what? IS. Net current through this threaded section. By unitary method also you can find out. How to find out this current through this section? Here you know current through pi r square area is I. So current through unit area is I by pi r square. So current through pi r square, small pi r square, this is equal to I divided by pi r square I divided by pi r square into pi small r square. This pi cancelled out. What we are getting? I into small r square by capital square, the same. So let us try to do. Net current passing through this area is this much. The same thing by unitary method you can do. So either one or two you can use there. So here what we see is using integral B inside Bi dot dl is equal to mu naught times net current. Here the magnetic field is once again the same, in the same direction. dl is also the same. We are not going to change it. The orientation, direction traversal we are keeping the same, no change at all. So in that case what we see, integral Bi into dl into cos 0 degree is equal to mu naught I net is Is through shaded section only. At all the points symmetrical situations are there, so Bi is taken constant. Outside the integral sign, integral dl equal to mu naught Is. Is is what? I into small r square by capital R square. Put the value of dl. What is dl? It is circumference length, that is Amperian loop. What I have drawn here, this is the Amperian loop to enclose. So this is Bi into 2 pi. This is equal to mu naught I small r square by capital R square. One r is cancelled out. So this gives Bi is equal to mu naught upon 2 pi into I upon r square into small r. And this can also be written as Bi is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into 2I divided by r square into small r. What we get here, this B is proportional to r, and here we are getting B proportional to 1 by r. That is what we have to take care while drawing the graph. If you draw the graph B versus r, this is radius r. At this point inside B proportional to r, rest of things are constant. So you can up to this, it is B proportional to r, that is increasing continuously, and outside the wire, that is B proportional to this, B proportional to 1 by r, and here B proportional to r. At surface, that is at r, this is the point at surface, B at surface, and that is the value having maximum. Bs equal to this much, mu naught by 4 pi into 2I by r. This is what the graph is. This has come a number of times in boards exam. So please practice these two. These two are important. Thick and thin wire are important one. So please derive these two and practice it enough. There is one numerical. Here if the current density in a linear conductor of radius capital R varies with small r, the relation is with this, it is varying. So here what we have is J is equal to K into small r square. and we have a cylinder of cylindrical wire of say radius capital R. This is the axis. So this is the radius R. From here, at distance say R, the value of magnet J is this much. With increase in R, the value is changing up to capital R. That is what we have. So we have to find the magnetic field at a point distance R from the axis, from this axis small r. This R may be inside and outside. That is what is first cap less than R, second greater than R. So here, first of all, we are going to select one annular. If you see the top view, it is circular. So top view is circular. From here, only we are taking say at distance x. We are going to find an annular zone, that is hollow cylinder, whose here this inner one x and outer radius is x plus dx. This dx is of such a small value that there is no such change in current density between these two points. Very negligibly small as compared to x. So at this point, the value of J is equal to k into x square as per this relation. We are going to find out the area of this. What is the area of this? Here also the same way. This annular cylinder, what we are going to check. Here, just to save our time, I had drawn all the figures. This is the cylinder of radius capital R was given to us. I had taken a part of it called hollow cylinder, you can say, of inner radius small x and outer radius capital X plus dx. And if you are taking it out, it is somewhat like this. And if you are going to cut it from one side, and you open in the form of seed, it is going to make like this. So if inner radius is x, then inner circumference is 2 pi x, and that is why it is also this circumference, inner circumference is 2 pi x. So here after cutting, say it is approximately, it is length remains same, 2 pi x. This dx is negligibly small, so width is dx. So what is the area here? So this area is equal to 2 pi x dx of this, say, dA. Here also this area is, you can say this is 2 pi x dx. You know the current density at a distance x using this formula we have from center, that is equal to J equal to k into x square. So up to x, if you are going up in this with a change in the x radius, there is almost no change in J. That is what we are assuming. So the area of cross section, what I am writing here is dA, area of cross section of annular cylinder. Annular cylinder, what I am talking about, having inner radius x, outer radius x plus dx, that is 2 pi x dx. What I had shown here, this shaded zone, here this shaded zone, here this shaded zone, all three are alike, 2 pi x dx. Now, what is the current that is coming out from here? From also sections. This shaded zone, here also, the same thing, no difference at all. Once again we are going to draw. Here also, from this, what is the amount of current that is coming out? That we have to. So the total current through this annular current through this cross section dA. What is that? You know current density into area, that is J into dA. What is J? J is k into x square and dA is 2 pi x dx. So what is the value of dI? That dI we have is from here k in 2 pi k 2 pi k into x cube dx. So this is the current that is coming out through this shaded zone. So this di is the total current coming out, di, total current coming out through this shaded section. This is di, having radius x to x plus dx. Di is through this. But what we are given? We are given to find out the magnetic field due to this. So to find out magnetic field, first of all, say at this point, this is the position vector r less than capital R, first point. So we are going to draw an Amperian loop of this radius. What is this radius? Small r. So what is the net amount of current through this? I is equal to, first case we are going to discuss first, r less than capital R. I inside at a distance r. What is the amount of current? Say it is I in. Here I inside is equal to integration of di. Here this integration 2 pi k x cube dx. What is the value of x cube or x variation? X can be for this, for whole thing, in this way very small circular annular zone we are going to consider. So minimum value of cylinder is 0, of radius 0. Maximum value of cylinder is capital R. So in this much annular zones, a number of annular zones within this boundary from 0 to R we are going to consider. We are going to divide in very small annular zones. And so the variation of x for cylinder from x equal to 0 to x equal to R. 2 pi k is constant, you take it out. Integration x cube dx 0 to R. This is 2 pi k. X cube is x4 by 4. This is 0 to R. So this is 2 pi k. X4 is R4 divided by 4. So this is pi k R cube divided by 2. This is I in. And if I in you have, then you can easily find out magnetic field inside using integral B in dot dl is equal to mu naught times I inside. Integral here magnetic field is once again tangential, and dl what we are going, we had assumed this Amperian loop. This Amperian loop. So what was its circumference? 2 pi small r, and magnetic field, and say current is going up, we are going to assume like this the orientation. So this is again up. So here integration B in dl cos 0 degree is equal to mu naught I in. B in constant. Integral dl. What is integral dl? 2 pi r. So we are going to put here 2 pi r. Cos 0 is 1. So no problem at all. Equal to mu naught I in pi k r cube divided by 2. So here actually there is, this is 2 to the 4 pi k. This should be r4. Okay. So b dot dl here 2 pi r. B in is b in 2 pi r mu naught im pi k r4. This should be r4. So this we are going to write pi k r4 divided by 2. Now we are going to solve this one. Here pi is cancelled out. One of the r is cancelled out, so 3. So what we shall have is, here I am writing b in is equal to mu naught upon 2 into k r cube, and these 2 to the 4. So we are going to write 4. So mu naught k r cube divided by 4, what we shall have is this. So this is the value of magnetic field. One thing I would like to know, so can we introduce here mu r, or we can simply put mu naught? That is the question. You just think over it. After completion of magnetic, you will come to know whether it would be or not. Let's try to think over it, whether we shall introduce here mu naught into mu r, or simply we would put mu naught. That is the question. So that is the inner part. Formula is there. Only we have to think over it what to do. Second, r greater than r. When any point is outside this, what we have to do? We have to put complete an Amperian loop which includes a whole wire. So di due to angular geometry is determined. So in case 2, for r greater than r, what we have to do? We have to find out net current through whole wire. Net current through whole wire means we have to integrate this one 2 pi k x cube dx from x equal to 0 to x equal to r. And you just apply Ampere's circular law, integral B dot dl equal to mu naught r. Here r is equal to this much. That is outside. But current remains constant because all the whole wire is enclosed. So that whatever current is going to come, that remains same. There is no such variation. Here the variation is proportional to r cube. Here these are going to introduce, that r is constant. So outside this will be constant. But here in the inner side, what we are getting? B proportional to r cube, that is going to change. So try to draw a graph. After solving this I net, you just put it to find out B outside. In Ampere's circular law, using Ampere's circular law, I net you just calculate integration, put it in integration B dot dl equal to mu naught I net to find out B outside. Here I will be constant. You know why? From 0 to capital R is constant. So this after integration you put value of capital R, that is constant value. So there is no such change in current here. So try to find out what is the value and how the graph is going to be produced. So first application is done completely. I hope you are going to do it properly. Try to see it once how it is done and note it down. Try to copy it down, see it once and finish it. In very next class I am going to start the next application, that is the magnetic field due to a straight solenoid.